I'm Dennis Larsen, and my wife Margaret and I farm this 480 hectare property, which we added to in '93, another 130 hectares, so we've got a total of 611 hectares here. We came here in 1980. We started with the catchment board and looking at erosion control on this property. From here you can see the Bluey Mountains in the distance. The Clutha River runs just in front of that. We run down to Gores directly above the fog over there. And there's a lot of farms around with trees on now. They never had them originally. We run a sheep and beef unit here. I've dropped numbers a wee bit of sheep because we had quite a severe drought a while back. So I'm running about 3,200 ewes. There's 70 head of cattle, replacement new lambs, there's about 1,200 of them. And we've still got at this stage 1,400 works lambs on the place. So we have a total of 92 hectares in trees. So it was a choice of going into deer or into trees, and I chose trees because I'm an ex-Taranaki person, so I grew up in country where native bush was everywhere. So I couldn't get over how barren it was down here. So trees is in my blood, I suppose. Yeah. Oh, well, this valley is where we first started our planting, and with the target catchment board, and planting a variety of poplar and willows in these gully sites and through the holes of erosion. And they do provide, as you can see, the forms of colour in the autumn and also colour in the spring as they come out to leaf, and they follow the pattern of the frost, like they colour off down in the lower area and then later on up in the higher land. But the poplars grow very fast and they don't prevent any grass growing, so you can utilise your paddocks right through. This block of pine is used at times for shelter for sheep when they're shorn, and one of the reasons I planted trees was for shade and shelter. I used to shear in the middle of December, and you'd find the sheep trying to shelter behind a post or a concrete post for a bit of shade. So trees have certainly helped in that way, and being able to open gates into a block of trees when the weather cuts rough is really worthwhile. I'll try and work in about 4 hectare blocks annually, with the idea of doing that so that at the other end you've got a regular income and all your costs aren't hit in one year, spreads the pruning out, as well as your income at the other end. But that big block over there has got 3 lots on it. It's there's about 20 hectares in that block in total, mainly on what I call rotten rock. When we looked at planting it, we were wondering how we were going to get the trees in, but we managed to get everyone in. Not necessarily exactly at 3 by 3 metres, but we got them in, and we probably had a 99% strike. It was an exceptional year that year. But the trees have all been pruned up to 6 metres and thinned out to about 250 stems a hectare. And they're grown for timber, but while they're in there, they're also preventing soil erosion, and they've created bird life, which we didn't have. The trees are good for aesthetics, and basically all those gullies were gorse when I started. It hasn't affected my carrying capacity, like I haven't had to drop stock numbers to make way for the trees because they were on mainly unproductive land anyway. I've dropped numbers just recently, but it's been my decision to ease off as I'm getting older, take the pressure off, but our turnover is just as much. Okay, this block here is a 19 hectare block, which was solid gorse, and the gorse was sprayed and then burnt, and then the trees were planted, and then we got a severe drought, so the following year I had to replant half of them. Oh, this block is a typical gully that's been fenced off, keep the stock out of the wee creek up the middle, and make easier for mustering and handling of stock. And it's a block that's got macrocarpa with had eucalypts around the edge, and the idea of the eucalypts was to keep the fences clean after I'd seen a similar situation on another property. But the only thing is the marketing of the eucalypts. They're only really fit for pulp at this stage, and it's a pity that we just can't get a stronger timber market. But the macrocarpa are doing well in there. They've been pruned up to 6 metres, and hopefully we'll get some good results from them. For any person coming onto a farm, or a young person starting farming, trees are good, and you need to get into them straight away. Don't wait around, because every year that you're waiting, you've lost a year. And because they've got a 30-year rotation or more, you need to get into it straight away, and you'll get returns by the time you retire. But yeah, just get into it quick and smart.